Lazarus Devasahayam was born in India on April 23, 1712. Son of a wealthy Hindu family, he entered the service of the Maharaja as a high official. After meeting Eustachius de Lannoy, a naval officer, initially a prisoner of the sovereign, then his military advisor, he became Catholic, even though conversion was illegal at the time. He was baptized according to the Latin rite of the Catholic Church on May 14, 1745. He took the Christian name of Lazarus, rendered in the Tamil language as Devasahayam, meaning help of God. He began the intense work of evangelization, also bringing his wife to the faith. Because of the hostility of the Brahmins, he was ousted from his post and arrested for high treason. For 3 years he was tortured and subjected to insults, but he continued to preach the gospel. The soldiers guarding Devasahayam were so amazed by his faith and the small miracles that they witnessed that they offered to let him escape. But he declined because he knew that they would be punished. On the night of January 14, 1752, Devasahayam was taken from prison to a rocky hill where he was shot several times until he died. He was beatified in 2012 in India under the pontificate of Pope Benedict XVI and canonized by Pope Francis in 2022, becoming the first Indian martyr, the first Tamil saint, and the first Indian layman to be canonized. This saint can be a powerful intercessor. His commitment, his zeal for Christ can be a great invitation for everyone to live their faith well.
The true disciple of Jesus, a symbol of faith and fraternity, an unforgettable person in Indian church history, is none other than Saint Devasahayam. He became the first Indian layman to be declared a saint by the Vatican on 15th May 2022. Pope Francis canonized Blessed Devasahayam during the canonization mass in St. Peter's Basilica, which was attended by over 50,000 faithful from all over the world. Devasahayam was born on April 23, 1712 in Nattalam village in Kanyakumari district. His parents are Vasudevan Nambudiri and Devaki Amma. He was very well trained in different art forms and he had the knowledge of literature and languages. He began his career in the royal palace of King Martanda Varma as a treasurer and became in close contact with several Dutch officials at the palace. After meeting a Dutch naval commander, de Lannoy, Devasahayam was baptized in 1745 and assumed the name Lazarus, meaning God is my help. His conversion, however, was considered an act of treason and a danger to the stability of the kingdom. But Devasahayam received the sacraments regularly and ate with people of lower caste than himself and of very humble status. While preaching, he particularly insisted on the equality of all people, despite caste differences. This aroused the hatred of the higher classes, and he was arrested in 1749. He was treated like a criminal. He was intentionally marched through populated areas, sitting backward on the top of a buffalo. As a method of torture, he was beaten every day with 80 stripes, pepper rubbed in his wounds and nostrils, exposed to the sun and given only stagnant water to drink. According to religious lore, Devasahayam was dragged from one village to another in the last 7 months before his death. While halting at Puliur-Kurichi, not far away from the Padmanabhapuram palace of the Travancore king, it is believed by Christians that God quenched his thirst by letting water gush through a small hole on a rock on the very place where he knelt to pray. The water hole is still found in the compound of a church at Puliur-Kurichi, about 15 kilometers from Nagercoil. He was also tied up on a neem tree in the village of Piruvalai. while being marched to Aralvaimoli. It is believed that he cured illness of sick people in the village and around. After enduring increasing hardship, he received the crown of martyrdom when he was shot on 14th January 1752. His body was then carelessly thrown out near the foothills at Katadimalai. It is said that local Christians collected his remains after 5 days of his death and buried it in the present-day Cathedral of Saint Francis in Kottad, Nagercoil. From that day on, Devasahayam has been considered a martyr. Saint Devasahayam stood for equality and fought against casteism and communalism. His sainthood comes at a time when India is facing surge in casteism and communalism. His life is a great impetus for all who work for fraternity.